So, today I decided I wanted to make a sword. Yeah. So, the reason I wanted to come out to the blacksmithing shop today was because my wood shop is incredibly cold. My electric heater burned up last year, right around the end of winter, and I had never gotten that replaced. And this thing warms up the building like crazy. The last time I started this thing up, it was about 100 degrees outside, and it was about 120 in here, and that's with the doors open and everything. So I figured today is just going to be a blacksmithing day, so I can warm up a little bit. Also, hold on. And this is the other reason I wanted to come out today, is because I want to turn this into a sword. This is a spring off of an old Jeep, and so I figure if I can straighten it out and then flatten it, it should actually be a pretty good medium for a sword. It's a 1095 steel, so hopefully it works out the way I'm assuming it will. It's been a little while since I've checked in. This is basically as straight as I'm probably going to get it for right now. I still need to isolate the tang. I'm just going to end up making that rectangular, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut the end off for the handle. Okay, that was fun. Basically everything is forged. It's late. I'm gonna go ahead and let this cool down in the forge as best as I can here. That way it'll cool down slower. And then tomorrow I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna go ahead and grind all of the bevels, finish up the tang, and then start working on the handle and we can make ourselves a sword. I'm still not 100% sure what the design should be. I'm either gonna go for something, that's really hot. It either needs to be something like a rapier, or it needs to be something that looks like Needle from Game of Thrones. Then Lucy can wield it. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Alright, welcome back everybody to day 2, and this is as far as we got on the sword yesterday. I came out this morning and pulled this out of the forge, and I did find out that there's a little bit of a curve here. So I'm going to have to heat this back up, bend it back into shape, and then I can go ahead and go through a proper annealing process, because just leaving it in the forge, it's not ideal. So I think I have decided on a design for this sword. I think what I want to do is make it into something that looks like Needle. Then I can give it to Lucy, because I just think that's awesome. I want to see her wield this thing. I just have to straighten it a little bit, and we can anneal it, and then we can hit the grinder. Let's get to it. I don't have a bench grinder, so I just kind of rigged one up. So I'm calling this basically done. It is very imperfect. That is all of my lines kind of eyeballed straight here. And I think I did a pretty decent job. I can fine tune it a little bit later once I am done with the quench. Now, this always comes up whenever I quench stuff on this channel. Yes, I use used motor oil. I know it's not ideal, but it's better than water. One of these days I will buy some quench oil, but as it is right now, I don't want to spend any money on it, especially since I'm still working with mostly unknown steels anyway. So, we're going to go ahead and heat things up in the forge, and we're going to quench it in this tube here. Hopefully it doesn't crack. The worst thing that could happen at this moment is that I spent all of this time on it and that it cracks. That's entirely possible, especially since I'm working with an old spring. The more these springs wear out, the more likely you're going to end up with little stress fractures. I haven't noticed any fractures that I can visibly see while I was doing my grinding. I didn't see any issues. Hopefully hopefully it won't crack on me. So here's hoping. Okay, since I can only run one burner right now because my other burner seems to have stopped working, not sure why it stopped working, but it did, I'm going to start painting the heat onto the entire blade. That way when everything gets quenched, the entire blade should be nice and hardened, but it's not going to work the way it is right now. The blade's too long to heat evenly, so I'm going to have to start moving it. ready for that? Man, this thing is looking absolutely amazing how this is turning out. I've done knives before, but I've never done a sword before. Oh my goodness. This is going to clean up so nicely. I've always wanted to make a sword. I've never had a chance to make a sword. And this thing, oh, it bananaed. Oh no! Can you see that? Ah, it bananaed in the quench. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do about that. That's okay. That's a problem for future me to figure out. I'm gonna go ahead and call this part 1. I'm not gonna do more than a 2-parter on this series because personally I don't like multi-parters, but there's a lot of work to be done for a sword. So I'm definitely gonna make this 2 so that I can give myself 2 weeks to do it. If you're watching this in the future, you'll probably see part 2 in the end card there. So go ahead and click on that if you're interested so you can see the final product. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Catch you all next time.